Today in my mini-series, Pearls of Wisdom, we are going to talk about our garden. How we, the human being, having this wonderful spiritual experience here in life, actually started out as a seed. We are coming close to the harvest time right now. And I have a beautiful metaphor of this cool little seed that we planted outside. And it was a pumpkin seed. And it started very, very small. And then within a couple of weeks, it grew and bloomed. And now it's in the window creating this beautiful preparation for harvest. How does the pumpkin seed, from being planted, growing its roots, and then growing into a pumpkin that we get to celebrate, decorate, and enjoy in Halloween, have anything to do with the beginning of your journey here for the soul, the life that you want to live? So let's get on purpose and take a deep dive. When you are a seed, you are planted. Whatever garden you get planted in, that is your story. You have the choice, as we've talked about before, in what story you want to tell about the life of where your seed started in the garden in the beginning. And many of us, me, like you, have stories. Maybe you were sexually abused as a young child, as I was. Maybe you felt abandoned or betrayed by situations in relationships or partners, or maybe around an influential person that you thought had your back, but later you found out they didn't. It doesn't matter where your seed got planted in this garden. What does matter, and it is very important to matter, is that you matter. You are the seed that matters. You control, if you are in the garden where you are first germinating your little seed as it begins to kind of fruitfully appear, and something traumatic happens. Let's call that fertilizer, drops in on the soil, and it kills a couple of your roots. Although it is horrific, you are still alive. And along the way, our source will send some farmer who will grab you up and move you into a new planting bed where you get an opportunity to grow again. We put a little fertilizer on you. We move you to a new soil. And within that new soil, you might think that it is very hard in the beginning because the root has got to dig down and find its way through all the valleys and crevices and creases of that hard soil. But as the water comes and it gets easier to root yourself, it also gives you the opportunity to grow and to flourish. And if it were not difficult to dig those roots down into that seed, you would simply be blown over by the wind. So many times I say to people, as you go through abandonment, as you go through shame, as you go through betrayal, please remember that it is a growing period. It is a time of rooting. It is a time of becoming strong. The harvest will come as long as you believe that as you are rowing your boat gently down the stream of life, that it will get easier as you move towards your harvest. As you grow through what you're going through, keep your eye fixed on that wonderful pumpkin pie at the end of the harvest, at the time when all of the watering, all of the fertilizing, all of the growing season, the hot sun, the pounding rains, we get to go through it all. It is a natural journey called life. Stay in high vibration around what you can do, not can't do. Stay focused on, in every moment, what is my can-do thing. It might be difficult, but when we shift our mind and thoughts to can-dos, we get to live our very best life in the harvest called our soul's journey. And many times as I coach people, I often, almost always, hear them talking about their garden called life and the garden that they don't love called their life. And they ask me, Kimmy, help me create a new life, a new way. And I say to them often, your life, your garden is perfect just how it is. Do you want to do a little weeding? Do you really want to just throw the whole garden out and move to a new town? Well, no, of course not. Okay, then let's start right there. The metaphor of the garden and the life that we have right now is beautiful. It's gorgeous. Embracing who we are and what we are. Eliminating the mask called comparisons around the size 0 model or around she wears makeup and he doesn't, or vice versa for that matter. The reality is, my garden, your garden, is the perfect garden. It is got everything we need to start to build this amazing thing called life. So here's what I'd like to ask you to do today. Look at your garden. If you have a thorn and you want to pull it out, what are you going to put in its place? Think about that. Go inside. If your life has a thorn in it and it is not called your best life or your most beautiful garden, how can you remove that and replace it with something that is your best life? Well, I'm going to tell you the secret. Many people think it's about eliminating other people from their life. This is not the delete button on your iPhone or your camera. This is not the unfollow on one of your social media outlets. This is called your life. Other people are how we create abundance in life. So often people say to me, I would ask this when I taught my students in the 9th grade, where does money come from? Most important thing. And they would say trees and seeds and banks. Money comes from other people. The wealth of the world exists not in a bank, but in other people. So before you go deleting people, I understand boundary setting, speaking up to thine own self be true, speaking up to what feels intuitively perfect for you. But no other person can make you feel like you're not enough, like you're not beautiful, that you're not successful. Those thoughts, those things, they are in my mind, in your garden, my garden, and we are the master gardeners for our life. Today, as you go through life, look at the beautiful gardens and natural settings that the source has given to all of us here on earth. And like the grass outside, whether it is spring, summer, fall, or winter, the grass will for sure keep growing. It will die off. It will be really high and it will be really low. And often we will think it is dead and it is just in its dormant period called winter. Grow the life you want, knowing that you, your garden, and your seeds will go through all the seasons. And you are absolutely a beautiful garden, regardless of where you are in the process.